What do you think when I say the words Fun Plus? Now, you might think that this is an extra exciting kids ball pool, or you might think that this is a multi-billion-dollar company that likes to rip off other games in order to try and promote their own. Now, I did do a video quite a while back against Mount & Blade 2 Bannerlord and some false advertising, and whilst yes, this is similar, there's been some new things that have come up and a bit more information that I wanted to talk to you guys about. If anyone doesn't know, that video was really about a lot of companies that use footage from games, specifically in that case Mount & Blade 2 Bannerlord, and take it to try and promote their own game. But this is really focusing on Fun Plus, because these guys are 100% the biggest problems in this industry when it comes to games and false advertising. You might have heard of the game Kings of Avalon, or maybe the game Guns of Glory. Now, these are two mobile games that like to use many different ways of advertising. Back in the day, we got many adverts like this, and as you can see, this is a screen cap from a YouTube ad, I might add. Yes, this was on YouTube, which was the E3 2016 Mount & Blade 2 Bannerlord gameplay of defending a siege. But as you can see, it's not an advert for Bannerlord. In the left, you can see it's the King of Avalon, dragon something or other. It doesn't matter, it's a terrible app. But that's not all. Now, there are more reports of things coming in, such as Cossacks 3 being used in this screenshot, but as you can see, it is the same game doing it. Furthermore, Dragon Warfare, that's the one I completely forgot the name, didn't stop there. Cossacks and Mount & Blade 2 Bannerlord were not the only victims to them. Age of Empires 2 decided that they would be taken under the wing of Kings of Avalon and taken as, you know, the picture boy for this incredible mobile game that has over 1 million players apparently. And it went on with this for quite a while. Other games were brought in, such as Banished. Now, the screenshot does say War and Order, so this is taken from a War and Order advert, but I have seen many of these used for Kingdoms of Avalon. And I think I showed back a while ago an advert that was for Guns of Glory, and it was Men of War Assault Squad 2. But this time, it wasn't even just an advert for that game or a trailer for Men of War Assault Squad 2. It was actually gameplay from a YouTuber. And as you can see, a lot of the footage, even from these Banished ones, seems to be taken from YouTube videos. So these guys aren't just taking trailers, as you might expect from other companies and using it for their adverts, but actually YouTubers gameplay themselves, ripping that off and taking it. A lot of that has happened, and I made a video addressing that, so why am I making another video on this now? Well, this is when it comes to something quite spectacular. Back in 2018, these guys, Fun Plus, who made all these games, were actually caught up. It all caught up with them, and the UK advertising laws saw these practices and were like, we're not having that. We are not having that on YouTube, on the internet, etc. So they decided to do something about it. They took down these adverts and they were gone for a while. So everything should have gone back to place. People should be using advertising properly. But tell me why in 2019 this newest one was taken from Twitch. This wasn't even YouTube, it's now moved on to Twitch. King of Avalon. And yes, this is an advert that looks to be Life is Feudal Forest Village, which is a lesser known village builder, so maybe they thought they could get away with using this one, since not many people actually really know about Life is Feudal Forest Village. And they've used this in an advert but a few months ago, in 2019. So this whole advertising shtick went in and took down so many of these adverts, but it seems that King of Avalon haven't gone yet. They still have some fight to be put up. More ads are popping up this day and age of more things. Now, where is the worst place? Well, I think a lot of you might realize that actually the worst place to find all this sort of stuff is on Facebook. Facebook ads seem to have very little to no regulation on what actually is being used. I have seen countless amount of times adverts for games on Facebook that are using different screenshots or gameplay than what actually is the game that's being advertised. If anyone doesn't know what King of Avalon actually is as a game, good, because if you've downloaded this game, you obviously don't know what proper, true, good games are. But furthermore, this is some gameplay from King of Avalon. And now let me compare it to what they've been releasing and advertising it as. All these different things. Now, a lot of companies and gaming companies seem to do this, especially in the mobile gaming universe, if that's what you want to call it. They use a lot of cinematic trailers. They use a lot of pre-rendered cutscenes using CGI, and yeah, they do look pretty awesome. But the reason they do this is because, I mean, their games just don't look cool otherwise. It comes to a point where you've got to realize your game just isn't that great when you're having to use these pre-rendered cutscenes to actually try and advertise them. But I don't really have a problem with that. Whilst it doesn't really convey the game, and at the end of the day is not actually trying to show you what the game is, but just trying to hook you in at that first start, that's fine. If you're spending your money on that, I guess that's okay. Yes, it is a little bit of a scummy practice because still slight false advertising, but when it comes to actually going back to where you were before and stealing game footage, that is where the problem comes in. But what can we do about it? From what I've seen, this used to be a massive thing back in 2017, 2018, but as soon as the UK government and advertising agencies came in and cut it out, it dropped down. It seems like most of them went to these pre-rendered cutscenes, but unfortunately it seems like a few have slipped through, and I feel like if it comes back to this and back to where it was before, there's going to be a lot of issues, especially for games that actually deserve the advertisement and don't deserve their footage to be stolen. I think right now something needs to be done in order to stop it from growing back to where it was because a few, as I said, are still slipping through. But why are FunPlus doing this? They're a mobile game company that have generated more than $1.3 billion in revenue according to some sources, which I don't think is all that far off. Of course, you won't have the exact numbers, but these mobile companies make millions and obviously billions. I get sponsorship offers most days, and most of them are from mobile gaming companies offering hundreds, thousands even for a 5-10 minute video. It's insane how much money these guys have to dish off, and it's because they cut corners. It doesn't take that much really to develop these mobile games in the scheme of things, because once they get it out, they can make that money back through microtransactions and getting people stuck in it. And furthermore, if you don't have to pay for these cinematic trailers at the get-go and you're just stealing someone else's, that's even another side that you can cut costs on. But what can we do? At the moment, the main culprits are FunPlus, King of Avalon, Guns of Glory, games like this, using other games to advertise them, such as Age of Empires, Banished, Mount and Blade 2, Bannerlord. Well, I urge you to not support these games. There's plenty of other games, and whilst personally I think these are terrible games anyway, so I wouldn't really see why you would want to play them. There's so many, even if you think mobile gaming is your sort of thing, there's so many other games that you can get your hands on, rather than these games that are free to play, but then get you in with microtransactions because you think this is a much better game than it really is, due to these weird and sort of loopholey advertising practices. Yes, these stealing content isn't exactly loophole, that's just plain stealing, but sometimes they manage to get around it in some way or another. So I urge you to be very savvy when you're watching these adverts, what you click on and what you download, because at the moment, if people keep supporting these games, they're going to get more and more money, and there's not going to be much reason for them to stop doing these sort of things. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. This was more of just a video because I saw it and it's sort of, I'd already addressed this, so I felt like I didn't really want to do it, but I felt like if this is coming back and no one says anything about it, there's going to be problems, especially in the gaming and mostly PC gaming market, because they take mostly PC games, especially indie games that people don't necessarily know tons about, thinking they can get away with it. So that's just my 2 cents. Please leave comments down below. What are your thoughts on this, and have you guys seen any of these adverts around? And trust me, if there was an advert of a bloody mobile game on this video, there probably will be at this point. Actually no, click on it just so I get the money from it, but don't download it. Ignore it. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and until then, I will see you in the next one.